burden. We the people. When you move out to the country, all you see is American flags out here. We got one over here, we got one over here, we got Trump ones down here. I've already reacted to this in my own time. I've listened to this song many times. I just think that my subscribers need to hear this message.
They want me 6 feet deep, they want me under the dirt, don't wanna let me breathe. They want my mama to hurt, they might know my face, they might know my name, but they don't know my past.
Alright, that is a white guy right there that gets shot in the hallway by police. Unjustly. The cops had actually got called out. He was an exterminator, and someone had seen him with a gun. So, like, I guess when you're an exterminator, you have, like, a certain gun that shoots something into the, you know, whatever rodent you're trying to get rid of. Whatever. He was drunk, had a little bit too much to drink. Someone saw the gun. They get called. It escalates. This is horrifying. If anybody's ever watched this, about this case of the guy. Horrifying. It's like, basically, it's almost like Simon Says. Crawl, put your right foot, put your left foot, boom! He gets blasted. I believe the cop actually went down for this, right? So it happens on both sides.
Feel my pain. But they told me about to die. Somebody pray for me. The homies in the sky gon' have to wait for me. I can smell your lies. Watch what you say to me. Cause I done seen a lot of shit that I can never talk about. I don't wanna hurt your feelings. Why you gotta be so fragile? We politicking and you get offended and I look like an asshole. Don't be surprised if you see gunmen post outside of that business. They sticking to.
The problem with this is, if you just heard the McCloskey case, they just got indicted on more charges. First of all, if you're on your private property and people break through your private gate and they're swarming you, talking about how they're finna kill your dog, how they're finna burn your white house down, and you got your white privilege, they restored that house to make it immaculate. You know how long it took them to build that? And he goes in this song to talk about this with businesses and how the left just doesn't care that they are coming into towns and cities, and a lot of them aren't even from these towns and cities, as we saw the U-Haul. George, yeah, you know who's funding a lot of this shit, but she had the U-Haul pull up, and they pulled out abolish police, with the quotations of ICE in police, to make it, abolish ICE, because ICE is bad, don't defend your borders. These people who are abroad, anybody that wants to do harm on our country abroad is sitting back and just laughing at us right now that we're fighting with each other. And he does get into a lyric in this song where he's talking about united we stand, divided we fall. We all have heard that before. But he switches it up, and a lot of people didn't catch this. He says, divided we stand, united we fall. And he's talking about, in the elite's eyes, to how they want their control and their domination. But just watch this.
Watch what you say to me.
I done seen a lot of shit that I can never talk about. Why you gotta be so fragile? We politicking and you get offended and I look like an asshole. Don't be surprised if you see gunmen post outside of their business. They sick and tired of holding fire and they just trying to end it.
So pick a side, you crucified
by everybody's opinions.
And keep it peaceful, cause the people around here
armed and malicious.
Protected by the amendments. I want you bald in it.
One thing I wanted to talk about was Chris Wallace at the debates, where he equated white supremacy with militias, and then Joe Biden, who's getting sued currently by Rittenhouse and his lawyers, this is a 17-year-old kid, right? We aren't allowed to talk about Greta Thunberg talking about, what did she say, like with the global warming? We'll put them up against a wall. Like, obviously, we all know what the hell that means. We'll put these elitists up against a wall. She's talking about, Greta Thunberg's talking about being censored and silenced. She's in front of the UN, and like she's at all the global initiative like rallies. What are you talking about? What do you mean you're being silenced? You are their mouthpiece. You are their puppet. So you can't talk about Greta Thunberg and the global warming problem that we had. The problem that I've been taught since I remember 7th grade Miss Fran's class. I live in Florida. I live in I was raised in Tarpon Springs and grew up in Tarpon Springs. I moved to Pasco because it's cheaper and there's just crime out crazy. I live in Tampa right now. It's cheap. I live in the country. It's still cheap, thank God, but like I'm away from the city now. I don't got to worry about, I don't even got to lock my doors here. It's beautiful. Everybody, all my neighbors got guns. We all know each other. You can't crucify, who can't you crucify as well? The one that was supposedly riding his bike to go film during the shooting in Broward County. One of the most corrupted towns in Florida, Broward County. Look into them as well. Look into them and their sheriff. Their sheriff is horrible. I've already done videos about that, but yeah, no, so you can crucify anything, but you can call a 17-year-old kid who was called on, and he was erasing actual, like, graffiti that was painted on businesses. Now it's racist to paint over graffiti. Like, if you own a business, literally, I'm not kidding, if you own a business and you go and try to clean your business of the graffiti that they've painted on, they'll start riots over you cleaning off your business. And some people have actually gotten charged with hate crimes for that. It's ridiculous.
I say that I ain't never backing down with God as my witness if shit get real. I'll be right there in the field. Never folded, never will. Everybody better chill. No, it won't be none of that in this little town. This ain't the place you wanna fuck around. Cause shit can happen in the midst of action. Just imagine that, people stand their ground. My neighbor.
That was what I wanted to say as well. Like the people who, the McCloskeys, they just got charged with tampering with evidence because I heard a lot. I mean, Kim, I don't know the Kim Fox is Chicago. That's Jussie Smollett. Gardner. I know her last name is Gardner. Another Soros puppet, just like Kim Fox. Just like Jussie Smollett did numerous amounts of felonies, falsifying hate crimes. Didn't get charged with anything. All right? If I did something like that, or if I simply had someone outside my house in a protest and wave a shotgun like the dude in, I think it was Michigan or Minnesota or Wisconsin, one of those, they came up to the dude's house because he had Trump flags and he showed that he had a shotgun. They said they were going to burn his shit down. You can't defend your property no more. This is what they want. And these Soros-placed politicians are showing you that you are not allowed to fight the resistance. You have no more private property. Marxism does not allow for private property. They do not allow for you to have your own land because that is colonization and it's a racist thought. They also say that it's in critical race theory, showing up on time, being punctual, having good morals. That's all signs of whiteness. It's extremely racist, if you ask me. Just like voter ID laws, like you're disenfranchising people to vote. I grew up around black people. All the black people I know were able to vote when they wanted to vote. You've just given them a reason to vote. And a lot of them I know are seeing through this. You're basically like putting the hoods on again. I don't think I need to explain it to any of my subscribers, but I'm sorry.
Let it raise me and paint my character. Nothing was good and nothing was fair, but this is America. You get one shot, it's like pretend like you shooting a Derringer. Ain't no fucking with me, you can fucking with me, and I'ma embarrass you. They want me under the dirt, don't wanna let me breathe. They want my mama to hurt. They might know my face, they might know my name, but they don't know my past. They never felt my pain.
I don't wanna die. Somebody pray for me.
The homies in the sky gon' have to wait for me. I can smell your lies. Watch what you say to me. Cause I done seen a lot of shit that I can never talk about. I'm speaking the truth and you disagree, but what can you do? Here's a message to you doing ass little broke bitches that I see on the news. Whatever got you thinking you can come and do what you want, well that ain't the move. Gotta protect what I built on my back. If I'm back in the corner, it's legal to shoot.
Do I have to explain that? Not to any of my subscribers, I don't. Not to any of my subscribers.
You to see the other side, you ain't been a victim. All I want is rights. That ain't protest, that's a mob and riot. You was shot dead just the other night. Might be misled, but let it be said. You only voting left because they voting right. If we all people, then we all equal. Gotta come together, ain't no better time. How do we stand, united we fall? What do we...
Did you just hear what he said? Divided we stand, united we fall. Let me repeat that.
Shot dead, what you want, well that ain't the move. Gotta protect what I built on my back. If I'm back in the corner, it's legal to shoot. Hard for you to see the other side. You ain't been a victim, all I want is rights. That ain't protest, that's a mob and riot. People shot dead just the other night. Might be misled, but let it be said. You only voting left because they voting right. If we all people, then we all equal. Gotta come together, ain't no better time. How do we stand, united we fall. What?
Nobody's caught that. Nobody that has reacted to this. And this is not really a reaction, all right? I wish I could have reacted to this when it came out, because when this music video came out, it popped in my recommendeds, thank God, because I had never heard of Burden. He's from Ocala. And I heard about his case when his case actually happened a while ago. I heard about his case. Look into his other song about True Story. He's got a deep history. Like he says, you might know my face, but you don't know my name. You don't know what I've been through. You can't feel my pain, right? And that's a lot of the critical race theory, like where they're putting everybody in these little boxes, right? They want everybody in their boxes. And they literally want people in boxes. New York just shut down for a second time. And they were very anti-Semitic, basically saying, you know, that he came out first targeting the Jewish community. And they're, you know what? We have the right to assemble or congregate, no matter what. There is no clause in our Constitution that says that we cannot assemble. We have the freedom to assemble. We have the freedom of religion as well. We have the freedom to congregate. Nothing, there's no clause that says some virus downplays that, right? And certain states are locking down. Thank God I live in Florida, where it's a lot more, we have a lot more freedoms and stuff. And then you see the cases rise up. Yeah, but these are cases. These are cases. We also had a dude in Florida that died in a motorcycle accident where his limbs were torn from his body, and he got pronounced as a COVID. We also have medical doctors on tape saying, yeah, they've been instructed to, if they test positive for COVID, a lot of these tests come back false positives. Has anybody ever had like a pregnancy test where it comes back as a false positive? Well, a lot of these have been rigged to have been pluses so they can count you in the system. And what a lot of people aren't saying is when you go to the hospital and you get these tests done and they count you as a positive, even though you might have a false positive, they count 17 extra cases as well, thinking that you are around 17 other family members or friends. So not only do they count one case, they times that by 17 once you get it. This whole thing is a scam. I've been talking about this forever. The Green New Deal, everything, it's all a push for socialism. That's it. That's it. It's clear to see. Divide and conquer. United we stand, divided we fall. So what he just said is divided we stand, united we fall. Nobody caught that I've watched reactions to. And it bothered me because everybody repeated what they thought they heard. Oh yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. Yeah, that's that's common. That's not what he said. That's not what he believes. I picked up on it. Let's go.
We are the puppets, who are the hands, what are the plans, who would have thought, who's seen it coming? They going it's legal to shoot. Hard for you to see the other side. You ain't been a victim, all I want is rights. That ain't protest, that's a mob and riot. People shot dead just the other night. Might be misled, but let it be said. You only voting left because they voting right. If we all people, then we all equal. Gotta come together, ain't no better time. How do we stand, united we fall? What have we done?
We are the puppets.
Who are the hands, what are the plans, who would have thought, who's seen it coming?
What are the hands? What are the plans? Who's seen it coming and why? Oh, we know the hands. There's hands tied all in this because they're placing district attorneys, judges, and prosecutors throughout our country, and they're releasing criminals who continuously throw Molotov cocktails through windows. Very, very, very similar. Very, very similar to the Project Weather Underground. And if y'all can go back into my videos and watch Project Weather Underground, where they said that if they said there would be about 50 million people that wouldn't conform to this new communist idea, what would you do to them? And they basically said that they'd have to be killed if they didn't get re-educated. That's basically what they said. They've been doing this for a long time. And what did Project Weather Underground and Tupac Shakur's mother, who was a Black Panther, she got jailed for didn't she get jailed for... They like to bomb. They like to bomb police stations. We see this. This has happened in history. And it's happening over and over again, right? And they'll come out and say, correlate white supremacists with militia because white people are the majority of the population. And we're not having this shit. Black people aren't having this shit. Hispanics aren't having this shit. There are people that come here that like our Constitution. They like the way we live. They don't want this change. That's why you see nobody at Biden rallies. You don't see people. You don't see them. There is no popular support. So that's why Ilhan Omar and her Somali community, she comes to our country, complains about how fucking racist we are. And she gets the corruption from Somalia to lead over here. Project Veritas, look that up. Voter ballots. Oh, I got 300. They're fucking mocking us, man. They're mocking us. Openly stealing ballots and voting. You don't think that's happening nationwide due to this COVID lockdown? We can go to Walmart. I just went to Walmart the other day. 1,500 people in there, jam-packed, tight. Boom. Self-checkouts, people right behind me. No social distancing, nothing. You're telling me I can't vote. Okay, and it's racist for ID. I need an ID to do everything, but I don't need an ID to vote? Oh, that's racist. Black people can't get IDs. Okay.
Every time I see the police around me, I get hella nervous, like I'm doing bad.
Same.
Profile, I get pulled over, maybe handcuffed and put up in the bag, but I won't resist.
They've searched my car. They've tried to plant shit. They've planted crack in my sister's car because she dates black guys, and they didn't like the black guy she was with. They've tried to do a bunch of shit in my life. I don't like them. Not in the small town where I'm from. I don't like them. The sheriffs I deal with are a lot different. They're a lot more spread out. They're a lot more organized. You actually vote for sheriffs. They have a hierarchy. Tarpon Springs was corrupt. Corrupt as fuck, man. Corrupt. Yeah, they tried to plant shit on me. They tried to search me when I was a kid because I hung out with black kids and I was in the hood. They tried to ask me why I was in the hood. Maybe because I have friends and family that live in the hood. Is this not a street in the United States that I can walk through? So yeah, when he says, when the police are behind me, I get hella nervous like I'm doing something bad. Yeah, because I've dealt with those cops before. It's not all of them. And when I do deal with those cops, I give them an attitude. Well, I did when I was younger. I mean, I'm smart enough now not to do that, but I've had guns pulled on me one time by the cops. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. Thank God nothing happened, but I understand where he's coming from. It doesn't matter about your skin color. They're trying to divide all of us right now.
First me, I insist. Yeah, you know there's confidence. Play cool, 'cause I ain't got no time for this. Yeah, then I say bye and wave, and I just drive away. And that's just it, but it wasn't some privilege that I ain't died today. My neighborhood, the one that erased me and painted my character. Nothing was good and nothing was fair, but this is America. You get one shot and it's like, pretend like you shooting the Derrick. Ain't no fucking with me, you can fucking with me, and I ain't gonna die. Somebody pray for me. The homies in the sky gon' have to wait for me. I can smell your lies. Watch what you say to me. I wanna say a lot of shit that I can never talk about.
We the people. Alright, I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, but it's Burden came up on my radar through, thankfully, a recommended. I heard the song has been banned on a lot of platforms and stuff, probably for hate speech. Any truth or any facts or anything that goes against the establishment now is hate speech. This isn't a reaction video because I've already seen it. I wanted my subscribers to see this, and I'm tired. I just came off of a 13-hour night shift, and I drank a couple beers, as you know how I get down. But this guy's been through a lot. He deserves people to view his... Go listen to it for yourself. You don't need me to tell you how to think or what to think. I do political commentary. And you know that I'm stifled, so this won't even probably get out to much people. But we got to spread this message because shit is getting very authoritarian. The governor in Virginia, remember the one that wanted to take your guns away? And Northam, the one who had... It's funny because they all project, don't they? They all project about how not racist they are and how inclusive they are. But Governor Northface, the one who likes to rip babies out at 9 months old and says, we'll have a conversation with the mother, and then, we'll make sure that kid dies slowly and comfortably. At 9 months old. After they're pregnant, they have the kid. because they love their money coming through Planned Parenthood. They love that money. Margaret Sanger loves that money. She was part of the KKK. Yeah, she was. He also had a hood on. He was about masks way before any of us were. He was so for masks that he took a white hood, he cut eye holes out of the mask. Governor Northam, the one in Virginia, the one who had political campaign ads on TV showing militia running down immigrants and blacks in trucks, saying this is what Trump is spreading. These people are such projectionists. Everything they project, and I don't know how it works with some of the... And you know what? I'm starting to believe it doesn't work. A lot of their votes have been through fraud, and I think Trump has kind of sorted that out in the mix. No, who would vote for these people? Nobody that I interact with on a daily basis believe these views that these people believe. And they're a small minority on Twitter. The same dude that put the hood over in KKK and thought it was funny, which is worse than blackface, is telling you now that you have to wear your masks everywhere. Same dude that was trying to ban your firearms, and it was such an important topic. What happened? I think like 80,000 people came to Virginia, and he had to lock the city down because they all came strapped armed from all around the states. Were they a white militia? Were they supremacist? No, they were black, Hispanic, Chinese, Asian, Samoan, Pacific Islander, you name it. This is all tests, guys. Northam is now telling you, when you go to a restaurant, make sure you pull your mask down, take a bite, and put your mask back up. They're joking. They're fucking prodding us. They're prodding us. And they know they're prodding us. I love y'all. Born a Hawkeye. I'm out. Go listen to Bird and We the People. His shit's inspiring change. He's talking about some real shit, and it's a good tune. A lot of like Trump tunes, or not even Trump, just a lot of pro-constitutional songs are kind of cringy. Man, he really spun this one, because in the beginning I thought he was like, I'm like, oh, he's getting shot. Oh, like, well, like I had preconceived notions. He completely flipped it in the words, and then I don't know, man. United we stand, divided we fall. Born a Hawkeye. I'm out. I love y'all.